Pioneer fans, Pioneer Women's Varsity Hockey is live and on the air. Welcome to the Kensington Valley Ice House, where it is Pioneer Women's Varsity Hockey taking on Livingston United, as a nice game that looks like they're resurfacing the ice. Game time is supposed to be at 6 o'clock, but it might be just shortly thereafter. But appreciate all of you joining us as Pioneer has won 5 wins, 1 tie and 2 losses on the season. They start off with a tie versus Bloomfield Birmingham 3-3. They lost to University League 9-1. Then they went on a 5-game winning streak, beating Downriver on the 30th 3-1, beating Washtenaw United 8-0 on the 2nd. On the 7th, they beat Plymouth Canton Salem 9-0. They beat Mercy on the 10th 8-0. On the 11th, they beat Livonia United 5-2, that over at Eddie Edgar Ice Arena. Then yesterday, they ran into a very good Skyron team here on Skyline, won that one 3-1, and we'll talk more about that right now. Taking a look at that game, started off with 2 goals by Huron Skyline, or Skyron, in the first, one by Pioneer in the first. Huron Skyline chipped in one more in the second, so it was 3-1 at the end of the second, and then no scoring in the third for the final 3-1. Skyron was 0 for 2 on the power play, serving 10 penalty minutes. Pioneer 0 for 5 on the power play, serving 4 penalty minutes. Shots on goal not calculated there. Taking a look at, where did that go? There we go. Taking a look at your goal scorers. It was Olivia Andrianopoulos scoring for Pioneer. Natalie Millman on the assist. 4 penalty minutes to Brainerd. And it was Grand between the pipes, facing 41 shots on goal and saving 38 of them. On the other side, it was Hyung who had a goal. Kalila Hodge had a goal, and Clavier had a goal for 3 goals, 3 assists, 1 to Kalila Hodge, and 2 for Shannon for 3 assists. Penalty minutes 4 to Hyung, 2 to Kalila Hodge, 2 to Cullen, and 2 to Clavier for 10 penalty minutes. Game-winning goal was to Clavier. It was Dion between the pipes, facing, they say 9 shots on goal, saving 8 of them. That's not right, but that's okay. So shots on goal just a little different there. But Skyron winning yesterday. Taking a look at your top point getters for Pioneer. 21 points for Natalie Millman. She has 18 goals and 3 assists, coming off of a field hockey season where she was named Player of the Year for the state. She has obviously been doing fantastic work on the ice as well. We love to see that. Corey Flint has 14 points on 4 goals and 10 assists. Olivia Andrianopoulos has 10 points on 4 goals and 6 assists. Ava Drabeck has 8 points on 2 goals and 6 assists. Then a tie for 5th as Evie Portinga has 7 points on 4 goals and 3 assists, and Piper Campbell has 7 points on 2 goals and 5 assists. That's your top point getters for Pioneer. Maddie Grant has played 7 games between the pipes, 261 minutes, 5 wins, 2 losses, 126 shots on goal, 111 saves, goal against average 2.58, save percentage 881, but again, that's probably certainly low due to sometimes the shots on goal get tracked, sometimes they don't. Weiwei Portinga has played a game, 53 minutes between the pipes. That was the one time. 18 shots on goal face, 15 saves, 3 goals against for a 2.55 goals against average and an 8.33 save percentage. Again, not sure about that save percentage due to points and shots on goal tracking. Pioneer has 11 goals in the first period. That to 8 for the opponent, so Pioneer's +3 in the first period. They are plus 10 in the second period. That's their best period. 18 goals in the second for Pioneer, 8 for the opponents. In the third, Pioneer has 9 goals. The opponents have 2, so it's plus 7 for Pioneer. That gives them 38 goals. The opponents, 18 goals, so plus 20 for Pioneer in the goal differential. If you throw in 42 assists for Pioneer, they have 80 points. If you chip in 19 assists for the opponents, that would give them 37. So 80 points to 37 for the opponents. Take a look at the combined goaltender statistics for Pioneer. 2.58 goals against for Pioneer. For the opponents, 4.59. Save percentage for Pioneer, 8.73. Again, barring for not all shots calculated, the opponents 8.27. So that is Pioneer, and let's take a look at the opponents as Livingston United is 2-1 on the season. They started off with a game on the 22nd over at Vets versus Skyron. They lost that one 8-0, but they have 2 wins since then. December 2nd, they beat Cranbrook by a score of 8-2 and over at Cranbrook Wallace Ice Arena. Then on the 10th of December, they played Plymouth Canton Salem here at Kensington Valley. They won that game 8-1. So, as far as how this game goes, anybody's guess. Take a look at the last game versus Plymouth Canton Salem. It was 1 goal for Plymouth Canton Salem in the first 4. For Livingston United, they had the 4-1 lead at the end of 20 minutes. They chipped in, Livingston United chipped in 2 more goals in the second to make it 6-1, and then 2 more goals in the third to make it 8-1. Plymouth Canton Salem was 0 for 4 on the power play. It says they didn't serve any penalty minutes. Livingston United 0 for 4 on the power play, so obviously Plymouth Canton Salem did have some penalty minutes, and Livingston United had 10 penalty minutes. Taking a look at the scores in that game, Plymouth Canton Salem, they don't list any of their statistics, but over for Livingston United, Clement had 3 goals, and unfortunately we went on air before I got to find anyone from Livingston United to double check the pronunciation. So if anyone is watching from Livingston United, please forgive me. We just got going before I could find the locker room. So Clement had 3 goals and 1 assist. It was Eckerman with a goal, Anderson with a goal, and Richards with 3 goals for 8 goals, 7 assists, 1 to Clement, 1 to Young, 2 assists to Eckerman, 1 to Payson, 1 to Boyce, and 1 to Richards. So 8 goals, 7 assists. Penalty minutes, 4 to Shattuck, 2 to Eckerman, 4 to Payson, and then the game-winning goal was Eckerman. Pytilla played between the pipes for 30 minutes, and then Clark played for 15 minutes. So Pytilla took 2 periods. Clark took second, or probably the third period. And it was Pytilla who got the win, so she must have had the first and second period there, where Livingston United outscored Plymouth Canton Salem. Taking a look at the top point getters for Livingston United, Clement has 8 points on 6 goals and 2 assists. Richards has 6 points on 4 goals and 2 assists. Eckerman has 6 points on 3 goals and 3 assists. Boyce has an assist for a point. Anderson has a goal for a point. Payson has an assist for a point. Shattuck has an assist for a point. Alberts and Young both have assists for points as well, so all tied for the 5th spot. Clark has played 1 game between the pipes, so only 15 minutes. So they don't have any. They played 3 games, but they only have stats from the last game. As Pytilla, they have 2 wins, 1 loss, but they only have 30 minutes between the pipes. Looks like it says she's faced 16 shots and goal, saved 16 of them, but there was a goal in the other game, so obviously sometimes the goalkeeper statistics are not up to date. But take a look at the scoring per period. Livingston United scored 8 in the first. Their opponent scored 5, so Livingston United plus 3 in the first. Livingston United scored 3 in the second, 5 for the opponent, so they're minus 2 in the second. That is the opponent's best period. Then they've scored 3 in the third, 1 for the opponent, so +2 in the third. So best period for Livingston United statistically so far has been the first period. They're +3 total in goals. Taking a look at if you throw in assists, 12 assists gives Livingston United 26 points, 14 assists for the opponents gives them 25 points. So +1 point for Livingston United. And again, the goalkeeping, that's not right at all. They both have 0 goals against average and 100% save percentages. That's well, that would be wonderful. Not quite where things are at because they've been scored on a couple times. So, as a matter of fact, they've been scored on 10, 11 times. So, it's just a little bit about the teams as 5 minutes up on the clock. I expect to see the teams hit the ice shortly, so we'll keep our eye out for that. I'm going to play some messages from the MHSAA, and we will be right back with your first period action. You're watching Pioneer Women's Varsity Hockey, brought to you by Arbor Broadcasting.
Sportsmanship has never been more important between the lines in athletics and outside those lines in our communities. To listen, to respect, to understand, to practice common decency, to have competition without contentiousness. Sportsmanlike qualities are essential components of life itself. Let's all work together to not only be good sports, but good people. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics. Have we gotten to the point where at some high school game that an official has finally had enough from coaches, players, and adults, pulls off the whistle, and offers it to you? Let's hope not. There's no way you could do a better job. It's on everyone to promote good sportsmanship. So before you blurt something out about that next close call, consider this. Without the officials, nobody wins. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Nearly 2,000 of the state's top student athletes will be recognized for excelling academically and in school activities through the MHSAA's Scholar Athlete Award, underwritten by Farm Bureau Insurance. The applicants will be in the running for a total of 32 $1,000 college scholarships. Application materials are available exclusively online through the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Health concerns in high school sports go beyond physical injuries. The mental well-being of our young people is a hotter topic than ever before. The Michigan High School Athletic Association website has resources to help adults and students recognize potential problems and deal with them in a positive way. You can learn more about these mental health resources on the Health and Safety page of the MHSAA website. A message from the MHSAA promoting the value and values of educational athletics. Can you go anywhere and find an endeavor in society where we've come to accept and tolerate an adult, and even kids, treating another adult the way we allow spectators, coaches, and players to treat a high school game official? Can you? No one has the right to abuse game officials. So before you blurt something out about that next close call, consider this. Without the officials, nobody wins. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Here are 5 more good reasons for multi-sport participation. Multi-sport athletes are more coachable. They have higher athletic ceilings. They become better talent in the long run. They have higher sports IQs. Their sports skills transfer, and they are better teammates. Multi-sport participation is cross-training for life. Learn more at the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics. Here are 5 good reasons for high school multi-sport participation. Fewer overuse injuries, less opportunity for emotional burnout, exposure to different kids and coaches, exposure to different roles, and learning to compete better. Being a multi-sport participant can help a kid become a more well-rounded person. Multi-sport participation is cross-training for life. Learn more at the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Where can you find good information on all kinds of topics related to the well-being of our student athletes? Check out the health and safety page of the MHSAA website. Learn about multi-sport participation, heat and hydration, cardiovascular resources, as well as insurance benefits available for our students. It's all on the health and safety page of MHSAA.com. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
The love of the game draws us to sports, as players, coaches, spectators, and officials. For officials, it's a way to stay in the game they once played, to feel the thrill of putting on the uniform, stepping out of the playing surface, hustling to make the call, and building the relationships which can only be built in sports. If you still have that love for the game, we always need new officials. Register now at MHSAA.com. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
As both teams have hit the ice, and we are counting down 4 minutes for a warm-up. Pioneer is in their road purple jerseys with a black stripe across the middle. Block A's in the front on a circle. Numbers outlined in white on the shoulders and on white on the back. For the most part, collection of white and black helmets with one red, and then mostly black shorts. Take a look at Livingston United. They look a lot like the Golden Knights as far as they have their white jerseys on. They have black and gold along the sleeve with a little red trim on it. Numbers are awful light in gray on the back, so that'll be a little fun for your poor announcer, but I'll do my best. Numbers a little sharper in white on the sleeves, but I'll do my best to call out those players, but do know if I miss it. They look slick, but they just have that light gray numbers on the back. Black pants, socks with the yellow and red trim, and mostly black helmets. As we'll see, looks like it is Clark getting warmed up between the pipes. Across the way is Patilla getting a skate work done, so not sure exactly who's going to start. Both keepers played in the last game, as it does look like Maddie Grand is getting ready to warm up to our left. We'll play just a little bit more messages from the MHSAA. Let's play a little push on as well, and then we will be right back with your first period action. You're watching Pioneer Women's Varsity Hockey, brought to you by Arbor Broadcasting.
Sportsmanship has never been more important between the lines in athletics and outside those lines in our communities. To listen, to respect, to understand, to practice common decency, to have competition without contentiousness. Sportsmanlike qualities are essential components of life itself. Let's all work together to not only be good sports, but good people. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics. Have we gotten to the point where at some high school game that an official has finally had enough from coaches, players, and adults, pulls off the whistle, and offers it to you? Let's hope not. There's no way you could do a better job. It's on everyone to promote good sportsmanship. So before you blurt something out about that next close call, consider this. Without the officials, nobody wins. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Nearly 2,000 of the state's top student athletes will be recognized for excelling academically and in school activities through the MHSAA's Scholar Athlete Award, underwritten by Farm Bureau Insurance. The applicants will be in the running for a total of 32 $1,000 college scholarships. Application materials are available exclusively online through the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Health concerns in high school sports go beyond physical injuries. The mental well-being of our young people is a hotter topic than ever before. The Michigan High School Athletic Association website has resources to help adults and students recognize potential problems and deal with them in a positive way. You can learn more about these mental health resources on the Health and Safety page of the MHSAA website. A message from the MHSAA promoting the value and values of educational athletics. Can you go anywhere and find an endeavor in society where we've come to accept and tolerate an adult, and even kids, treating another adult the way we allow spectators, coaches, and players to treat a high school game official? Can you? No one has the right to abuse game officials. So before you blurt something out about that next close call, consider this. Without the officials, nobody wins. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Here are 5 more good reasons for multi-sport participation. Multi-sport athletes are more coachable. They have higher athletic ceilings. They become better talent in the long run. They have higher sports IQs. Their sports skills transfer, and they are better teammates. Multi-sport participation is cross-training for life. Learn more at the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Looks like we're getting ready, close to getting ready to go, as both teams have gathered up all of the pucks, or Pioneers work on gathering up all the pucks. Livingston United has gathered around their coaching staff across the way. As the clock down, now they have, 15 seconds up there. As Pioneer skates over to line up on the goal line to our left. So we're getting ready for some Thursday early evening hockey action. Livingston skates down to our right. And we should have the starting lineups here momentarily. Welcome to the rink. Just a little sportsmanship reminder for everybody. Always good when everyone cheers for the teams. Now the starting lineups. Millman skates out to the blue line. Flynn skates out to the blue line, starting for Pioneer. Olivia Andrianopoulos skates out to the blue line. Zoe Andrianopoulos skates out to the blue line. Atzman skates out to the blue line, starting for Pioneer. And Maddie Grand, starting goaltender, skates out to the blue line. Now Livingston United. Clamo comes out to the blue line for Livingston. Boyce skates out to the blue line. Richards starting for Livingston. Shatuk skates out to the blue line. Eckerman starting for Livingston. And Patella playing between the pipes. Or excuse me, looks like Clark actually skates out. Now, ladies and gentlemen, to honor America, the playing of the national anthem. Everyone getting their lids on, getting ready to go between these two squads. Last moment coaching instructions as they are gathered around the bench to our right, as we are getting ready to go for the first period action. Pioneer versus Livingston United. 15 minutes up on the clock. Livingston breaks the huddle as Clark verifying that's nope, that's 30. So it is going to be Patilla in between the pipes. I swear it was 31 who skated out, but Clamo in to take the face off. On the other side, Millman. And we're underway. The puck comes in along the near boards, racing over to get it. And pulled in by Clamo outside the near circle into the near corner. Clamo knocks it back to the near point. Shot by Eckerman. That deflects outside the far circle. Flink gathers it in there, sending it ahead into the neutral zone. That picked up. Clamo back to her blue line, coming down the far boards of the neutral zone, trying to shift it ahead. Boys has it. That pulled away by Millman. Here comes Millman over center ice. Millman gains the zone outside the near circle. Millman trying to get away from Clamo. That comes in along the end boards. That puck bouncing, puck on the near side. Flynn with a shot and a save by Patilla. 14:23 left to go here in the first period. Face-off in the near face-off circle to Patilla's left. In to take the face-off, Millman. Flynn to her left. As Olivia Andronopoulos to her right. That slips back into the neutral zone. Drayback has it right at her own blue line. Feeds it down the far boards. Bringing ahead is McKay. Now here comes Flynn. Flynn has it. Top of the far circle. Firing it into the slot. Millman with the shot. She caught a post. That comes outside the far circle. All the way back to the far point. Held in by McKay. Now McKay fires it right through the slot into the near corner. That picked up by McGee. McGee backhands it in along the near boards. Olivia Andronopoulos with a shot that just goes through the crease. In along the far boards. Flynn gets it back to the far point. Trying to fire it in is McKay. That pulled over as Flynn gets it. There's a save kicked into the near corner. Another shot and a save by Patilla. The puck comes out now, fed by Anderson all the way back into the neutral zone. Draybeck picks it up in the far boards in her own zone, trying to avoid pressure coming over from Payson. Draybeck takes it right back behind her own goal, now comes over to the far sides. That fed down the far boards, racing back to get it is Young. Young trying to fire it back the other way, and that is out of play. 13:21 left to go here in the first period, scoreless so far. Face-off is going to be in the far face-off circle. That is just outside of the Livingston zone. Campbell in to take the face-off versus Clamo. That puck coming all the way back. Now brought in, trying to feed it ahead, was Anderson. That picked up by Campbell. The puck loose, Boyce had it, back to her own blue line. Young has it there at center ice. Banks it off the near boards. That brought ahead by Richards. Richards outside the near circle, into the near corner. Richards comes in along the end boards, going from the near side to the far side. Trying to knock that away is Myers. Now that puck back to the far point, trying to get it out of the zone is Campbell. Campbell puts it in along the far boards. Now that deflected outside the far circle. Campbell goes back behind Grand. Stops there, now coming over underneath the near circle. As trying to pull that away was Trappell. Puck put by Anderson all the way back to the far point. Young holds it in there. Knocked down by Prince. Prince has it top of the far circle, trying to pull that away. Now coming in with it, a shot by Boys that got deflected to the top of the near circle. Shatuk with a shot. That all the way out and along the far boards. Held in at the blue line, now deflected all the way out. Here comes Prince. Prince down the far boards, trying to get it into the Livingston zone. And poked away by Shatuk back into the neutral zone. Gathering it up is Payson. Payson gains it at the near point. That shot deflected out in front as Zoe Andronopoulos made a nice job deflecting it, and Grand holding on to it. 12 minutes up on the clock. 0-0 is our score here at the Kensington Valley Ice House. Face-off is going to be to the right of Grand As Olivia Andrianopoulos in to take the face-off. On the other side is Payson. As that puck dropped, now comes top of the near circle. Hold away from Young through the slot. Now that picked up. Feeding it down is Zoe Andrianopoulos. Flynn trying to get it right in front of the Pioneer bench. That's sent right back in to the Pioneer zone. Dreback has it underneath the near circle. Bring it ahead. Dreback bounces off the near boards. And trying to get it as that was pulled back over as Edwards had it. And the puck brought ahead by Olivia Andrianopoulos. Edwards chasing it outside the near circle. And pulled back over by Young coming in. Olivia Andrianopoulos with a shot. That got caught underneath the pads, and Patilla with the save. 11:23 left to go here in the first period. Scoreless so far. Face-off is going to be to the left of Patilla. Campbell in to take the face-off for Pioneer. Claymore on the other side. Puck brought back to the near point. Atzman trying to hold it in. Now coming the other direction is Claymore. Claymore gains the zone in the high slot. Claymore, that shot goes wide. Good job by Zoe Andrianopoulos to knock that away. Picked up by Millman. Millman comes over on blue line through center ice. Millman battling and along the near boards, tipped away. Millman gets it back. Millman gains the zone. Millman knocked away by Claymore into the near corner. Trying to bring it back. Zoe Andrianopoulos holds it in at the near point. Millman has it outside the near circle, chasing it. And poked away by Claymore. There's a shot from Zoe Andrianopoulos from the near point. Millman back behind, trying to fire it out in front. Now there's a backhanded shot that goes onto the far circle. Gathered up there by Claymore, firing it ahead. And just out of the reach of boys. And that will head all the way back into the Livingston zone. 10:31 left to go here in the first period. Scoreless so far. Face-off is going to be to Patilla's right. Campbell in to take the face-off for Pioneer. Payson on the other side for Livingston. That comes right back behind Patilla. Trying to get it into the near corner. And to pull that away is Campbell. There's a shot from McKay and from the near point. Brainerd into the far corner, trying to pull that away. Brainerd back there trying to pull it away from Young. That puck off the side of the net coming around as that's Campbell trying to put it in. That puck all the way back to the far point. Grabbed by Drebeck, knocked away by McGee. That comes all the way back out to center. Gathered up there and fired ahead by Campbell into the zone outside the near circle. Drebeck trying to get it. That fired all the way down the ice. Stopped by Grand on the near side of her goal. That gathered up by Olivia Andrianopoulos. Olivia Andrianopoulos coming down the far boards of her own zone. Trying to avoid pressure. She has it over her own blue line, but a whistle and interference, the call. First period penalty to Pioneer. Brainerd in for interference, that at 9:44. Pioneers short-handed for the next 2 minutes. Face off to Grand's left. Shot from Young, top of the far circle. That grabbed and saved by Grand. 1:55 left to go. In the advantage to Livingston. 9:39 left to go here in the first period. Face-off again in the far face-off circle as Flynn tips that up high. Battle back behind. Trappell trying to pull that away. That puck outside the far circle. Racing ahead is Flynn. Flynn gets it all the way down as that will go back into the Livingston zone. Satuk has it on the other side. Satuk trying to fire it ahead. That knocked down by Flynn. Flynn battling it along those far boards. Lifted all the way back into the Pioneer zone as Trappell has it in along the near boards. Trying to pull it. Richards into the near corner for Livingston. Richards on the near circle. Gets it top of the near circle. Shot there by Eckerman. That goes wide. Trappell picks it up and along the far boards. Held in at the far point by Young. Young with the shot. That got deflected and a save by Grand. Now Richards' shot went just behind the goal. All the way outside the far circle. Here comes Millman. Millman trying to get it out of the zone. Held in again by Young. That puck outside the far circle. Now brought by Richards. Trying to get it out in front. Great job by Trappell to knock that away. Richards trying to feed it out in front. Battle for it, and Grand with the save. 50 seconds left to go in the power play for Livingston. 8:34 left to go here in the first. 0-0 is our score. Face-off in the far face-off circle. At DeGrand's left, as that's going to be Campbell versus Clemo. And shot got deflected into the far corner. McKay trying to move it over now. Campbell gets it back to the far point, held in by Young, that knocked away. Now brought back. Here comes Millman. Millman has it tipped away in along the near boards. Ackerman gains his own. Offsides the call. 34 seconds left to go here in the power play for Livingston. 8:18 left to go here in the first period. Scoreless so far. Millman in to take the faceoff versus Clemo. That puck in along the near boards, trying to get it his boys. Brought back out, fired in by Ackerman. That went off of Zoe Andrianopoulos. Whistle, and they will bring that out to center ice. Campbell in to take the face-off. Millman to her right. Trying to get away from Clemo. That puck. Boys has it. Now Campbell pulls it away. Campbell feeds ahead to Millman. Millman gains his own. Millman has that poke, but brought back in. And fired by Campbell. Stick save by Patilla. 13 seconds left to go in the power play for Livingston. 7:57 left to go here in the first period. Face-off is to Patilla's left, or right, in the far face-off circle. Campbell in to take the face-off versus Clemo. That into the far corner, gathered up, trying to fire it ahead was Shatuk. That held in by Drebeck at the far point. Here comes Millman, high slot Millman. Pulled off the puck, and a penalty upcoming. That is going to be an elbowing call. At 7:48. As into the box, trying to see, that is going to be Clemo for elbow. Face off. So we have 4 seconds of 4-on-4 hockey. And then we will have a minute 58 of Pioneer power play. Richards brings it down the far boards, trying to tip it away. It's Trappell. Olivia Andrianopoulos has it outside the far circle. She goes back behind Grand, in along the near boards. Banked off of the near boards, ahead to Prince. Prince right at her own blue line, trying to get it out of the zone. Eckerman with it outside the near circle. Eckerman with a shot. Grand with the save. Pioneers back to full strength. 1 minute 38 seconds for a Pioneer power play left. 7:26 left to go here in the first. Face-off in the near face-off circle. That to Grand's right. As Olivia Andrianopoulos taking the face-off versus Richards. Held in by Shatuk. That comes all the way outside the far circle. Here comes Millman. Millman bringing it down the far boards. Trying to get it out of the zone. As that was poked by Eckerman and up and out of play. 7:14 left to go here in the first. Scoreless so far. 1 minute 26 seconds left to go in the Pioneer advantage. Face-off is in the far face-off circle. That to Grand's left. Olivia Andrianopoulos in taking the face-off versus Richards. And pulled back by Payson, loose in the slot, now comes back to the near point. Trying to hold it in, that fired back by Eckerman, right back behind Grand. Gathered in there by Millman. Millman coming down the far boards. Millman puts on some speed over her own blue line. Millman over center ice. Millman gains the zone outside the near circle and was tipped away by Eckerman. Millman with a wide angle shot. That loose on the far circle. Going to grab it, pulling it back is Drebeck. Drebeck with a shot that got deflected underneath the far circle. Now Brainerd trying to get to it back behind the goal. Brainerd underneath the far circle. That pulled back the other direction as that fed ahead by Eckerman. Up and out of play. Face-off will be in the Livingston zone. 48 seconds left to go in the Pioneer power play. 6:36 left to go here in the first. That face-off will actually be outside of the Livingston zone in the far face-off circle. Campbell in the face-off. And pull back, high slot, trying to get to a Campbell. Campbell, top of the near circle, coming in. Campbell comes in, shot. That one just goes wide into the far corner. The puck back to the near point, held in by Millman. Millman moves it high slot. Now over to Drebeck, top of the near circle. Drebeck outside the near circle. Drebeck with it there. Drebeck firing it. That sticked away. Flynn trying to get a stick on it. That just poked away as Flynn battles outside the far circle. Swept back to the far point. Held in by Millman. Millman, high slot with a shot. That went off of a skate and hit the ceiling. That will be a stoppage in play. 13 seconds left to go here in the Pioneer advantage. 6:01 left to go here in the first period. Still scoreless so far. Campbell in to take the faceoff for Pioneer. That is going to be McGee on the other side. Well, no, now they'll McGee will go off, and looks like maybe it's going to be... Nope, McGee's back on there. There we go. Face-off in the near face-off circle, trying to get to a Flynn, then pull back. Is covered up by Patilla. 9 seconds left to go in the Pioneer power play. Face-off again in the near face-off circle. That to Patilla's left. Campbell again in to take the face-off. Richards now on the other side of the face-off circle. That puck into the near corner, chasing it Campbell. Campbell firing it, trying to get it back. That deflected back behind the goal, coming along. On the far side is Richards. Richards gets it out of the zone, all the way back. Drebeck has it at her own blue line. Puck wouldn't settle down. Claymo trying to get to it. That fired ahead into the neutral zone, and a whistle. And at 5:38, Pioneer penalty, Drebeck in the box. At 5:38, Pioneer penalty. I did not, roughing is the call. So Pioneer shorthanded for the next 2 minutes. Double minors. Sorry, I didn't see the other person. So 4-on-4 hockey. Try and get a number. As that's going to be Clemo, the other person in for roughing. At 5:38, face-off in along the near boards. As that comes over, here comes Millman on the near circle, trying to get in. As that poked back behind Olivia Andrianopoulos, trying to pull it off of the end boards. There's a whistle. And penalty upcoming. That at 5:23. As Payson goes out, tripping the call. That should end up Pioneer with the advantage for the next 2 minutes. Face-off in the far face-off circle at the right of Patilla. As Olivia Andrianopoulos taking the face-off. Outside the far circle, Prince trying to get it. And chipped right back behind. Held in by Millman, top of the near circle. That shot just went wide. Outside the far circle, trying to fire it out in front is Prince. That comes into the near corner. Brainerd sends it back. Millman on the near circle. Shot, and she scores! Millman puts it in on the power play at 5:03, and Pioneer goes up 1-0. Let's see if they gave an assist to that. Beautiful shot from the near circle, and that puts Pioneer up. Back to 4-on-4 hockey between these two squads. Or no, they're going to, incidentals, they're going to have it back 5-on-5 hockey. Campbell in to take the face-off. Richards on the other side. And puck in along the far boards. Zoe Andrianopoulos picks it up. In along the near board. She banks it off the near boards. Gets it to Edwards. Edwards brings it ahead. Feeding it over to Campbell. That pulled back away by Eckerman. In along the near boards. Eckerman feeds it. Here comes Millman. Millman puts it deep into the Livingston zone. Into the near corner. Pioneer with the 1-0 lead. 4:44 left to go here in the first. Millman grabbing the puck outside the near circle. That shot goes wide. Flynn chases that outside the far circle. Trying to get to it is Campbell. As Brainerd with the assist. As that puck high slot coming over, Flynn with the shot. That deflects outside the far circle. Campbell trying to hold it in as Zoe Andrianopoulos sends it on to the far circle. Richards trying to knock it out of the zone. That loose on the far circle, now lifted all the way down the ice. It should be icing, and it is. That'll head right back into the Livingston zone. 4:06 left to go here in the first period. 1-0 Pioneer with the lead. Face off in the far face-off circle in the Livingston zone. That to Patila's right. Olivia Andrianopoulos in to take the face-off. Brainerd to her right, and Prince to her left. As Boyce taking the face-off on the other side for Livingston. As they have things set. Now the puck drops through the slot. Brainerd trying to get to it. That poked into the near corner. Trying to pull it away. Brainerd into the boards. And pulled back, held in by Zoe Andrianopoulos at the near point. Shot got knocked down through the slot. Picked up and fired down by Anderson to the Pioneer blue line. Zoe Andrianopoulos feeding ahead. Here comes Prince right at center ice. Prince over to Olivia Andrianopoulos. She gains the zone, but it's poked right back into the neutral zone. Brainerd trying to feed it in deep. That goes right back behind Patilla. Grabbing it is Young back behind there. Young knocks it off of the near boards. Bring it the other direction. It's Richards. Richards over her own blue line. Richards coming down the near boards. Gains the Pioneer zone. Deflected right at the near point. As that pulled back, Boyes has it. Now that's sent back into the neutral zone. Knocked off of the far boards. Young chases it right in front of her own bench. Feeds it into the Pioneer zone. Trappell with it there. Trying to get it over to Brainerd. That knocked away by Richards. Loose in the high slot. Now that pulled by Brainerd in back into the neutral zone. As Livingston has to touch up. That brought into the far corner. As delayed offsides. Now they touch up. And fired ahead by Zoe Andrianopoulos. The puck loose. Pioneer trying to gather it up. That's sent back deeper by Richards. Knocked off of the near boards. Shattuck has it. Loose. Top of the near circle. Held in at the near on the blue line by Young. That pulled back over. Picked up by Shattuck. Trying to fire it deep. Loose on the far circle. Boyes has it there. Now Trappell in along the end boards. Trappell. Now Boyes stealing it. That off the side of the goal. Good job by Grand to knock it away. The puck swept ahead all the way down through the neutral zone. In a foot race, Flynn trying to get to it. Icing waved off. That pulled back behind. Young has it in along the near boards. Young trying to put it into the neutral zone. Millman fires it right back in. That puck into the far corner as Edwards trying to grab it outside the far circle. Pulled ahead by McGee into the neutral zone, and here comes Millman. Millman gains the zone outside the near circle. That puck brought into the near corner. Now Campbell top of the near circle. That shot just goes wide. Loose puck on the far circle. Young gets it out into the neutral zone. Picked up, fired in along the near boards. Collected by Edwards. Edwards feeds it ahead. Puck into the Livingston zone. Now into the near corner. Picked up by Young, back behind her own goal from the near side to the far side. Sweeps it around, trying to hold it in as Myers. Here comes Livingston, 1 minute 32 seconds left to go in the first. Pioneer up by 1. That pulled back behind by Drebeck from the far side to the near side. Loose right at the near point, but a whistle. 1 minute 22 seconds left to go. Slash the call. As Boyes goes into the box for slashing, that at 1:22. Face off in the far face-off circle. That will be to the right of Patilla. And pulled back by Clamo. Back behind her own goal from the far side to the near side. Clamo coming down the near boards. Now back into the near corner. Clamo through the slot, fires it all the way down the ice as Zoe Andrianopoulos chases it. She picks it back behind her own goal, coming in along the near boards, trying to feed it out of the zone, that through the neutral zone, grabbed by Clamo. Clamo coming down the far boards, but a whistle as two players down in along the near boards. Slow to get up, that's Zoe Andrianopoulos as well as Eckerman, who collided in along the near boards. They're both got up there as the trainer came over. Everyone took a knee for the injured players, and looks like they're both able to skate off under their own power, but both feeling the effects of that collision. 55.9 seconds left to go here in the first. 1:33 left to go in the Pioneer advantage. 1-0 Pioneer with the lead. They'll take the face-off. Right at center ice, Olivia Andrianopoulos in to take the face-off. Richards on the other side. Brainerd on the near wing. As Drebeck on the far wing. That comes back outside the far circle. Sent ahead outside. Now Olivia Andrianopoulos trying to get it. Clamo trying to get it out of the zone. Olivia Andrianopoulos underneath the far circle trying to backhand it out in front. That got knocked down as Shatuk heading the other direction. Shatuk over center ice coming down the near board. Shatuk loses an edge, fires it over towards the goal and covered up by Grand. 1 minute 8 seconds left to go in the Pioneer power play. And now it's going to be 4-on-4 as tripping the call to Pioneer as Brainerd into the box at 30.9. So we will have some 4-on-4 hockey for 1 minute and 8 seconds. So unless something changes, it would be for the remainder of this first period and a bit into the second. Then it'll be a short 52-second power play for Livingston. Shatuk has it at the near point, holding it in. That brought ahead by Olivia Andrianopoulos. Now racing. Here comes Drebeck over center ice. Drebeck gains the zone. High slot. That poked away. Now pulling it the other direction. Coming down the far boards is Richards. Richards gets it into the Pioneer zone. Knocked away by Millman. Millman outside the far circle of her own zone. She brings it ahead. Millman feeds it down the ice. Racing ahead, trying to get to it into the near corner. That will be icing as Drebeck raced as quickly as she could. 0.2 seconds left to go. It's like we'll have about 1 minute 29 seconds. Or excuse me, no, that'll be 37 seconds of 4-on-4 hockey. And then about 52 seconds of a power play for Livingston starting off the second. First, 0.2 seconds left to go. Face-off in the far face-off circle, and that will do it. At the end of one, it is Pioneer 1 and Livingston nothing. As we will play a couple messages from the MHSAA. Let's take a look at... it was a Pioneer penalty to Brainerd, that for interference at 9:44. Then it was a Livingston penalty, that to Clamo. That was a elbowing at 7:48. Then it was a Pioneer penalty, that to Drebeck, roughing offset. That was at 5:38. That was offset. Clamo also had a minor to roughing at 5:38. Then it was Livingston with the tripping penalty to Payson at 5:23. It was a Pioneer goal as Millman scored. Brainerd at the assist at 5:03. Then it was a Livingston slashing call. That one to Boyce at 1:22. Then Brainerd took a tripping call at 30 seconds, 30.9 seconds left to go. As they are just gathered around, let's play a quick message. Actually, let's play Push On, and we will be right back with your second period action. As they switch directions, Grant skates down towards our right, but twirling the crease. Pioneer going from right to left here in the second period. Campbell in to take the face off. Again, 4-on-4 hockey for 38 seconds. Then we will have a 52-second power play unless something changes for Livingston. Flynn to Campbell's right. Millman back behind him as that puck, Richards had it, that all the way back into the Livingston zone. Picked up by Eckerman. Eckerman underneath the near circle, comes over underneath the far circle. Eckerman feeds it ahead. That tip by Campbell. Millman holds it in. The puck loose on the far circle. Now Claymore brings it ahead. Claymore moves over center ice. Claymore feeding it down the near boards. Richards with it outside the near circle. Richards feeds it into the slot and pulled away by Millman. Millman over her own blue line and brought the other direction, fired in by Eckerman. Trappell has it outside the far circle. Trappell goes back behind Graham from the far side of the near side, feeding it down the near boards, trying to hold it in. That tipped up in along the near boards as Claymore trying to get to it. Campbell trying to feed it ahead. Claymore feeding it over in along the far side as that fired ahead over there by Eckerman. High slot and pulled away. Here comes Pioneer as Trappell gets it in along the near boards. That deflected all the way back to the Livingston blue line. 25-second power play right now for Livingston as they bring it down the far boards. Eckerman gets it ahead to Richards. Richards has it tipped away by Flynn. Flynn down the far boards. That cleared all the way down the ice. 12 seconds left to go in the Livingston power play. 1-0 Pioneer with the lead. 13:37 left to go here in the second period. Claymore brings it over center ice. Claymore gains the zone. High slot, shot sticked away by Grand into the far corner. In along the far boards, McGee battling into the far corner, trying to get it away. Atzman trying to pick it up. Back into the neutral zone, gathered up by Brainerd. Brainerd has that tipped away. Now Brainerd feeds it into the Livingston zone. Pioneer back to full strength. Richards has it back behind her own goal, bringing it down the far boards. Richard feeds it back to the far point. Pioneer trying to keep it in. Battle for it is Atzman, trying to get it right in front of the Pioneer bench. That brought back by McGee on the far circle. Fed over to the near circle. Young with it. Young knocks it in along the near boards. That on edge as that outside into the neutral zone. Pioneer has to touch up. Millman has it outside the far circle. Millman trying to get in. Millman with a shot that off of the side of the net, covered up by Patilla. 12:39 left to go here in the second. 1-0. Pioneer with the lead here in the second. Face-off will be to Patilla's left in the far face-off circle. Campbell in to take the face-off. Payson on the other side. That puck swept back, high slot, and it deflects into the near corner. Racing over to get it is Alberts. Held in at the near point by Drebeck. Now it spins out into the neutral zone. Drebeck firing it back into the zone. Flynn chases it outside the far circle. Flynn back over to Drebeck. Drebeck on the far circle trying to get it into the slot. That puck loose. Now pulled back by Shatuk. Shatuk fires it. And grabbed by Myers right in the neutral zone, now brought ahead. Here comes Payson on the far circle. Payson add into the near corner of the Pioneer zone. Battle for it there in along the near boards. McKay trying to peel it off the near boards and get it out of the zone. And brought ahead. Here comes Campbell. Campbell over center ice. Campbell gains the zone. Campbell on the near circle. Campbell, and that tipped away as racing in to knock it away was Young, putting it in along the end boards. 11:42 left to go here in the second period. Drebeck has it on the near circle. Drebeck with the wrister, and grab by Patilla and covered up. Pioneer up 1-0 here in the second. 11:34 left to go here in the second period. Face-off in the near face-off circle, that to Patilla's right. Brainerd in to take the face-off. Prince to her left. As Edwards to her right. Face-off as Richards wins the face-off for Livingston. Battle, trying to get it as Brainerd. That comes back to the near point. Trappell battling, pinching, trying to hold it in. As bringing the puck away, coming down the far boards, is Claymore. Claymore gains his own. Claymore as that tipped into the far corner by Millman. Claymore back behind Grant. Puts it outside the near circle. That's sent right back behind the Pioneer goal. Now Boyce with it there, comes outside that far circle. Here comes Millman. Millman over on blue line. Millman over center ice. Millman trying to get around Eckerman. She has it poke checked away, that outside the far circle. There's a shot. Millman trying to fire it, and Patilla with a save. 10:49 left to go here in the second period. 1-0, Pioneer with the lead. Face-off will be in the far face-off circle to Patilla's left. Looks like Richards now will go off for a line change. Brainerd in to take the face-off. Payson puts it into the far corner. That puck back to the far point. Shot from the top of the far circle. Brainerd trying to get a shot off. That got knocked down as Eckerman got her stick in the way. Big battle outside the near circle. There will be a whistle and a penalty upcoming. At 10:34. As offsetting minor penalties. As Princeton for Pioneer and Eckerman for Livingston. The official talking over to the scores bench across the way. 10:34 left to go here in the second. Pioneer has the 1-0 lead. Face-off will be to Patilla's right in the near face-off circle as Campbell versus Richards in the face-off circle. The official talks to coach for a moment. That puck, top of the near circle. Brainerd with it, fires it out in front. Trying to sweep it in, battle for it. Flynn right out in front, trying to poke it in. That off the side of the net as Clamo down on the ice now, trying to cover it up. Still haven't heard the whistle. There is the whistle. As Patilla able to cover that up. Checking to Eckerman, high stick for Prince. As both Olivia and Zoe Andrianopoulos had to leave the game due to other commitments. Pioneer with the 1-0 lead. Campbell wins it back. Drebeck getting it over. Now trying to sweep it away by Atzman. That picked in along the near boards. Fire back to Edwards trying to get to it at the near point. Edwards feeds it all the way across the rink. Flynn trying to pull it away. And puck in along the far boards. Clamo trying to get to it. Loose as Edwards holds it in. Good job. Now Campbell puts it top of the near circle. And pulled away by Richards back into the neutral zone. Campbell gets it over to Drebeck at her own blue line. Drebeck feeds it down the far boards. Here comes Flynn. Flynn gains the zone. Poked away. Campbell trying to get to it. And out into the neutral zone in along the far boards. Atzman trying to get that. Fired ahead by Payson. Battle for right at the Pioneer blue line, right in front of the Livingston bench. As here comes Pioneer, as Drebeck ended up down on the ice. Face-off will be in the far face-off circle just outside the Livingston zone. Face-off in the near face-off circle. That back to Millman. Millman gains his own. Millman high slot. Collides and ends up on the ice. That puck out and in! Pioneer scores! I believe that was Campbell who put it in. Pioneer makes it 2-0 with the lead over Livingston. And at 9:18, a shot that knuckleballed right over the left shoulder, caught just in the upper right corner there. So we'll get confirmation as to who the officials assign the goal to. Campbell in to take the face-off. McKay to her left. Brainerd to her right. Boys in to take the face-off on the other side for Livingston. Now it's going to be Payson taking the face-off as Boys moves over. That fired ahead by Young, now backhanded over by Anderson. Battle for it in along the far boards. Myers feeds it right to the Livingston blue line. Campbell on the goal for Pioneer. Millman gets the assist. Millman has it outside the far circle. Feeds ahead. Brainerd trying to chase it. Picked up. Here comes Campbell over center ice. Campbell gains his own high slot. Campbell, that knocked away in along the far board. Shattuck gets it back out into the neutral zone. Pioneer has to touch up on a delayed offsides battle for it. Pulling it in is Campbell. Campbell feeds it to Millman. Millman with a sniper shot. Save! And Campbell with the goal. Pioneer goes up 3-1. Campbell now has a brace. And at 8:39, as the goalkeeper, Patilla, as a trainer taking a look at her, the entire Livingston team has taken a knee around her as they get that helmet off, and now they're going to slowly take her off of the ice. We hope that Patilla is all right. You do not want to see, you love to see all these players play their guts out. You do not want to see any of these athletes injured. So as they get Patilla to the bench, we hope she's all right. Clark comes in, alternate captain for Livingston. As the trainer gets Patilla over to the bench, and they will take a look at her. It's not an easy situation to come into as the backup goaltender, down 3 goals. Face off right at center ice. Patilla had saved the shot from Millman, and that rebound came right. Campbell was perfectly situated and fired it in. Face-off right at center ice as Brainerd in to take the face-off versus Richards. That in along the far boards. Bringing ahead is Claymo. Claymo fires it in along the back. Millman gets the assist on that goal as well. That puck into the far corner. Millman has it underneath the far circle, feeding ahead. Right to center ice. Claymo has it at her own blue line. Claymo feeds it down the far boards, trying to get it ahead to Young. Young feeds it. Millman has it. Millman knocks it back into the Livingston zone. 8:09 left to go here in the second. Knocked down by Flynn. Flynn chases it into the far corner. Flynn fires it into the slot. Shot into the near corner. That banked off of the near boards. McGee trying to pull it off, as well as Young in along the end boards. Battle for it. Edwards chasing it. That pulled away by Richards. Richards has that poked away by Millman. The puck gathered up. Now fired ahead by Young all the way back deep. Icing waved off as Myers picks it up in along the end boards, sweeps it. And puck right back behind Grand into the near corner. Richards with it. Richards back to Young. Top of the near circle. That shot. Pad save. That goes all the way in along the far boards. Nice save by Grand. That puck brought down the far boards. Fed ahead by Brainerd. Down pulled the other direction by Claymo. Claymo gains the Pioneer zone. Claymo has it poked away. Millman got into the way. Battle for a top of the near circle. Boys with a shot. That stick back behind by Grand. Millman underneath the underneath the near circle, bringing ahead over her own blue line. Millman over center ice. Millman and tipped away outside the far circle. Flynn with a shot that just goes wide. Outside the near circle it goes. Picked up by Edwards there. Edwards trying to get it into the slot. Pulled away by Richards. Richards over her own blue line. Feeds it ahead. That puck loose. Now coming over is Campbell. Campbell moves it. Here comes McKay. McKay. And drop back to Edwards. Edwards trying to get it to McKay on the near circle. McKay backhanded it right out in front. And pulled away by Payson into the far corner. Excuse me, that was Richards. Held in at the far point by Trappell. High slot, the puck into the near corner. Edwards chases it into the near corner. That poke back now. Campbell sweeps it right back behind the goal. Into the far corner. Campbell trying to get it away from Richards. Now Boyes trying to get it out of the zone. That held in by Drebeck. High slot coming over. Campbell trying to make her way through the slot. That poke back. Coming in with it. Drebeck on the edge of the far circle. Drebeck into the far corner it goes. Drebeck trying to pull that away. Still loose. McKay trying to get it, held in at the far point by Trappell. Trappell puts it into the slot, pulled back by Young, banked it off the near boards all the way back into the neutral zone. Gathered up there by Campbell. Campbell feeds it down the far boards as there's a stick that ends up onto the ice. Stopped by Grand. Moves it back behind as bringing it ahead. Drebeck banks it off the near boards all the way back into the neutral zone. Claymo with it there. Claymo ricochets it off the far boards. Flynn trying to fire it ahead. Battle for it at center ice. Trappell right at her own blue line. Feeds ahead to Flynn. Here comes Flynn. Flynn trying to get around Claymo. Claymo steals it away. Claymo coming down the near boards, over on blue line. Claymo over center ice. Claymo gains the zone. Claymo has that poked away by Drebeck. Now coming the other direction. Here comes Flynn. Flynn goes down right at her own blue line. That puck on edge right to the near point. Trying to sweep it in deep was Shattuck. Back right at center ice, chasing it down is Payson at her own blue line. Moves it over to Young at her far side. Now that banked off of the near boards and ahead. Bringing it is McGee. McGee gains the Pioneer zone and fires it back deep. Picked up back behind by Trappell. Trappell feeding it right into the neutral zone. That'll go all the way down the ice. Icing called. 4:32 left to go here in this, the second period. 3-0, Pioneer with the lead. And face off back into the Pioneer zone. That'll be in the near face-off circle. Millman out there for Pioneer, as well as Atzman, Prince, Edwards, and McKay. On the other side is Richards to take the face-off. That puck back, high slot coming over. That shot by Eckerman. Trying to get it in along the near boards as McKay trying to get it out of the zone. Edwards into the near corner. That lifted all the way down the ice. That'll bank off the far boards into the far corner. That'll be icing and come back into the Pioneer zone. 4:15 left to go here in the second. 3-0 Pioneer with the lead. If you do want to reach out to the broadcast, you can. It's arborbroadcasting@gmail.com. That is arborbroadcasting@gmail.com. I do my best to check it at the intermissions if I can. Face off in the near face-off circle. Brought back high slot. That held in by Eckerman. Knuckleball shot. That not knocked down. All the way in along the far boards. Eckerman holds it in at the far point. That shot knocked down on the far circle. Here comes Millman. Millman over on blue line. Millman coming down the far boards. Millman gains the zone on the far circle. Millman with a shot. That onto the near circle. Edwards shooting. Millman trying to hit it that off the side of the net underneath the near circle. Millman with another wide angle shot. Battle out in front and they score. Pioneer puts it in. I believe that was Prince who got it. Nope. That'll be McKay who put it in. 4-0 Pioneer with the lead. That at 3:46. We'll verify that was McKay. Face off, Claymo in to take the face off versus Campbell right at center ice. And puck one back in along the blue line. Young has it there, feeds it down the far boards, chasing it Anderson, and swiped ahead by Drebeck. Now that puck back into the Livingston zone. Young trying to knock it out of the zone. Here comes Campbell into the slot. And fired in along the far boards. Anderson gathers it up there, fires it down. Price. As Prince put it in, Campbell and Millman on the assists. The puck outside the near circle, trying to pull that away. Here comes Flynn through the slot, poked away. Rayner chases it outside the far circle. Held in at the far point, shot by Drebeck. That got deflected underneath the near circle. Campbell with it in along the end boards, going from the near side to the far side. Campbell, that loose coming in, backhanded shot by Flynn. Knocked away by Clark. The puck on the far circle. Anderson has it. Now Flynn pulls it away. Flynn underneath the far circle. Feeds it right through the slot. That puck outside the near circle. Myers backhands it. Campbell picks it up back behind the goal. Campbell trying to feed it out in front. That got knocked down by Young. Campbell underneath the near circle. Campbell feeds it high slot. That grab knocked away. Bringing it ahead is Clamo. Clamo on a breakaway. Clamo into the slot. Comes over to the near side. And a great save by Grand. The puck outside the far circle. Now swept all the way down the ice. That will be icing, but Pioneer able to get a line change in high school hockey. 2:12 left to go here in the second. Pioneer up 4-0. Face off back into the Pioneer zone. Again, a great save on a breakaway by Grand. Face off will be in the far face off circle. As Princeton to take the face off. On the other side is Payson. That put back deep. Millman has it underneath the far circle. Millman trying to feed it ahead. Here comes Pioneer. That chipped as it spins on edge and along the near board. Shaduk trying to feed it ahead as McKay back over to Prince. Prince who scored the last goal coming down the far boards, trying to get it away from Richards. That gathered up by Shaduk, who feeds it right to the Pioneer blue line. Trappell trying to knock it in along the near boards. Trappell fires it back into the Livingston zone. That will be icing and head back into the Pioneer end. 1 minute, 39 seconds left to go here in the second. Pioneer up 4-0. Face-off will be to Grand's left in the near face-off circle. Prince again in to take the face-off. Richards on the other side. That puck drop, top of the far circle. Shatuk trying to get to it. That knocked off the near boards into the neutral zone. Here comes Millman on a breakaway. Millman on the near circle. Millman comes over, shoots it just underneath the crossbar, and it's a goal. Second for Millman. It should be unassisted at 1:28. Beautiful goal. 5-0. Pioneer with the lead as that caught just underneath the crossbar. Clamo in to take the face-off. Campbell on the other side. Brainer to her left. Flynn to her right. And puck loose at center. Now in along the near boards. Here comes Draybeck. Draybeck trying to get it into the zone. The puck into the near corner. Pulled back away by Eckerman. Eckerman goes from the near side to the far side. Puts it down the far boards. Pioneer holds it in at the far point by Atzman. Prince gets the assist on the Millman goal. That puck gathered up by Pioneer in along the near boards. Here comes Brainerd, knocked away by Clamo. Clamo with speed, gains his own. Clamo has really shown a lot of skill and speed out there. That backhanded back to the blue line. Here comes Pioneer, bringing it ahead. As here comes Campbell. Campbell gains his own. Campbell comes through the slot. That poked away. Swept back to Draybeck. Draybeck with a rising shot that just goes over the crossbar. Picked up back behind by Campbell. Right into the slot. Battle for it. Flynn trying to get it. That knocked in along the far boards. Trying to fire it right back out in front. Covered up by Clark. 29.8 seconds left to go here in the second. Pioneer with the 5-0 lead. Face-off will be in the Livingston zone. That'll be in the far face-off circle. Atzman and Draybeck are the blue liners. Prince in to take the face-off versus Clamo. Little confusion. 1, 2, 3, 4. As Livingston has their full complement out there now. Okay, Clamo versus Prince. That into the far corner, trying to sweep it ahead. Held in. Great job by Atzman at the far point. That brought ahead. Here comes Clamo. Racing ahead, Draybeck stays in front. Draybeck, nice job to steal that puck away. Draybeck coming down the far boards. Poked away from her, but that's sent ahead. Here comes McKay. McKay, top of the near circle. McKay on the near circle, feeds it into the slot. Sticked away by Clark. And along the far boards, Anderson with it. Edwards trying to knock it away, and that will do it for the second period. Pioneer 5 and Livingston nothing action in that second period. It was a Pioneer penalty, offsetting penalties, one to Prince for high stick, one to Ackerman for checking. Then it was a Pioneer goal, as that was a goal by Campbell, Piper Campbell from Millman at 9:18. Then it was a goal again at 8:39, as it was Campbell from Millman. Then at 3:46, it was Prince with a goal from Campbell and Millman. Then at 1:28, a breakaway by Millman, assisted by Prince. And that is 5-0 where we're at. Let's play a little bit messages from the MHSAA, and we will be right back with a intermission scoreboard report. You're watching Pioneer Women's Hockey, brought to you by Arbor Broadcasting.
Sportsmanship has never been more important between the lines in athletics and outside those lines in our communities. To listen, to respect, to understand, to practice common decency, to have competition without contentiousness. Sportsmanlike qualities are essential components of life itself. Let's all work together to not only be good sports, but good people. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics. Have we gotten to the point where at some high school game that an official has finally had enough from coaches, players, and adults, pulls off the whistle, and offers it to you? Let's hope not. There's no way you could do a better job. It's on everyone to promote good sportsmanship. So before you blurt something out about that next close call, consider this. Without the officials, nobody wins. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Nearly 2,000 of the state's top student athletes will be recognized for excelling academically and in school activities through the MHSAA's Scholar Athlete Award, underwritten by Farm Bureau Insurance. The applicants will be in the running for a total of 32 $1,000 college scholarships. Application materials are available exclusively online through the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Health concerns in high school sports go beyond physical injuries. The mental well-being of our young people is a hotter topic than ever before. The Michigan High School Athletic Association website has resources to help adults and students recognize potential problems and deal with them in a positive way. You can learn more about these mental health resources on the Health and Safety page of the MHSAA website. A message from the MHSAA, promoting the value and values of educational athletics. Can you go anywhere and find an endeavor in society where we've come to accept and tolerate an adult, and even kids, treating another adult the way we allow spectators, coaches, and players to treat a high school game official? Can you? No one has the right to abuse game officials. So before you blurt something out about that next close call, consider this. Without the officials, nobody wins. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Here are 5 more good reasons for multi-sport participation. Multi-sport athletes are more coachable. They have higher athletic ceilings. They become better talent in the long run. They have higher sports IQs. Their sport skills transfer, and they are better teammates. Multi-sport participation is cross-training for life. Learn more at the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics. Here are 5 good reasons for high school multi-sport participation. Fewer overuse injuries, less opportunity for emotional burnout, exposure to different kids and coaches, exposure to different roles, and learning to compete better. Being a multi-sport participant can help a kid become a more well-rounded person. Multi-sport participation is cross-training for life. Learn more at the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Where can you find good information on all kinds of topics related to the well-being of our student athletes? Check out the Health and Safety page of the MHSAA website. Learn about multi-sport participation, heat and hydration, cardiovascular resources, as well as insurance benefits available for our students. It's all on the health and safety page of MHSAA.com. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
The love of the game draws us to sports, as players, coaches, spectators, and officials. For officials, it's a way to stay in the game they once played, to feel the thrill of putting on the uniform, stepping out of the playing surface, hustling to make the call, and building the relationships which can only be built in sports. If you still have that love for the game, we always need new officials. Register now at MHSAA.com. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Here at the second intermission, it is Pioneer 5 and Livingston United nothing. Let's do an intermission scoreboard report as we go all the way back to December 11th, as it was Mid-Michigan beating Washtenaw United by a score of 5-0. That was when Pioneer, that was past Sunday, Pioneer beat Livonia United 5-2. On December 12th, it was Downriver shutting out Mercy by a score of 5-0. On the 13th, it was a scoreless game between Plymouth Canton-Salem and Cranbrook. At least they have 0-0 scoreless game there. We know last night it was Skyron beating Pioneer by a score of 3-2. And it was Grosse Pointe North hosting Troy United. Grosse Pointe North won that one by a score of 11-2 over at the Eastside Hockey Rink. Other games going on today. Grosse Pointe South is hosting Grosse Pointe North. We know about Livingston United Pioneer, and Liggett is hosting Regina and Lutheran Northern over at University of Liggett High School over at McCann Ice Arena. There's some action happening tomorrow. Pioneer women are off. We'll be doing the Pioneer men's basketball. If I can make it happen, we'll do both the freshman, junior varsity, and varsity games. We will have a color commentator, former coach who's Mike Arenz, who will be with us for game number 2 for the JV game. But happening tomorrow, again, Sacred Heart is hosting Bloomfield Birmingham. Mercy is hosting Northville. That at 4 p.m., 4:30 p.m. in Washtenaw United is hosting Walled Lake at 5:30. That would be over at the Ann Arbor Ice Cube. As they're finishing the ice resurfacing here, let's play a little bit of Push On, and then we will play just a little bit of music, and be right back with your third period action. as they just finished resurfacing the ice. This is the last game this calendar season, or calendar year, for the Pioneer women's varsity hockey team. Funny enough, they'll play Livingston United next. I believe that's going to be January 15th over at Veterans Memorial Ice Arena at, January 11th. They'll play Livingston United over at Vets. So we only have a few more games we're broadcasting this calendar year, as again we'll have the hopefully the three men's basketball games, freshman, JV, and varsity tomorrow. Freshman at 4 o'clock, JV at 5:30, and varsity at 7 o'clock. Then on Monday, I'll have to leave it to my wonderful colleague James Wiseman to call the Pioneer men's game versus Bedford. That got rescheduled for 3 o'clock Monday, so those of us with day jobs, that makes it a little hard. And then there is a Pioneer women's basketball game at Eastern Michigan over at the George Gervin Game Above Center, formerly the Convocation Center. I'm not sure. I'm going to reach out to Eastern and see if they'll allow us to broadcast that. I'm not sure, but I would love, very least we'll get down there and watch that game, but we'll hope to broadcast that if no one else is. As both teams now out skating around, getting ready to start the third period. Pioneer going from left to right here in this third period. 5-0 Pioneer with the lead. As it was 1 goal in the first, and then it was a explosion of goals in the second for Pioneer. As both teams getting stretched out, warmed up. Fresh sheet of ice for us. As Pioneer's going to hope to keep the offense rolling, as they had 4 goals in the last 9 minutes and 18 seconds. As a matter of fact, if you take a look, it was 7 minutes 50 seconds in that time frame they had 4 goals. As Campbell comes out to take the face-off, Edwards to her right, Flynn to her left, Millman as well as Myers playing the blue line. Clamo in to take the face-off. It is still Clark in goal. Again, we hope that Patilla is all right. That puck over to the Livingston blue line. Shattuck fires it ahead. That pulled away by Millman coming down the far boards. Millman gains his own top of the far circle. That lifted all the way down the ice. That should be icing. And it is. That'll head back into the Livingston zone. 4 minutes, 44 seconds left to go here in the third. 5-0 Pioneer with the lead. Face off to Clark's right in the far face-off circle. It's Campbell versus Clamo. As that puck in along the end boards. Gathered up back behind into the near corner is the tuck. Trying to feed it away, trying to hold it in. Here comes Campbell, high slot, trying to drop it back to Flynn. That ends up back into the neutral zone. As Myers goes back, top of the near circle in her own zone. Puck wouldn't settle down for her. Coming in, Clamo puts it into the near corner. Now Millman bringing it ahead. Millman goes over her own blue line, coming down the near boards. That poked away, back over. And bringing it ahead is Edwards. Edwards gains his own. Top of the near circle. Edwards loses an edge. That goes into the near corner. Pulled back and fired all the way down in along the far boards. And back in along the far boards of the neutral zone. Millman has it right at center ice. Millman gains his own. Millman with a shot that goes wide to the near side. Gathered up back behind by Eckerman. Eckerman has it. That off the side of the net. Millman trying to pull it away and battle on the far side of the crease. That comes outside the far circle. Brainerd with it there. Brainerd fires it right through the slot. Now coming over is Myers. Myers trying to grab it. Flynn trying to pull it off of the near boards. And it comes back to the near point. Now into the neutral zone it goes. McGee had it. That fired ahead by Brainerd. Gathered up at their own blue line by Shattuck. Shattuck goes over center. Gathered by Myers. Myers banks it off the far boards. That goes deep. Top of the far circle into the Livingston zone. Fired ahead by Young. That deflects, and that should be icing, and that'll head right back into the Livingston zone. 13:08 left to go here in this. The third period, 5-0, Pioneer with the lead. Face-off in the far face-off circle. That is going to be to Clark's right. Brainerd in to take the face-off. Prince to her left. Edwards to her right. Clamo on the other side as they get one more player out there for Livingston United. Now that puck into the far corner. Prince trying to grab it. Pulled back away by Clamo. Clamo has some speed into the near corner. Outside the near corner, Prince with it. Prince trying to feed it out in front. That comes all the way outside the far circle. Battle for it, top of the far circle. That fired all the way down into the Pioneer zone. Icing waved off. 12:44 left to go. Here in the third, the puck rimmed all the way around the boards. Held in by Young outside the near circle. Now coming over through the slot, Clamo, shot, good pad, save by Grand into the near corner. And puck top of the near circle, Clamo with it, Clamo. As that poked out into the neutral zone, Brainerd knocked it away. Brainerd loses her stick as McKay firing it all the way back to the Livingston blue line. Young has it poked away, good job to hold it in by Prince. Now outside the near circle is McWilliams, gets it into the neutral zone. Fired ahead by Drebeck now. Bringing it is Richards right at the Pioneer blue line. Knocked away by Prince. Gathered up, trying to fire it out. Puck wouldn't settle down for Brainerd at the far point. Now Brainerd pokes it all the way back into the Livingston zone. 11:54 left to go. Here in this, the third period. Young has it on the near circle of her own zone. Fires it to the blue line. Richards drifts over in along the near boards. Now fires it in along the far boards. Fling goes over to get it. Broken stick over in along the far boards, causing issues. That fed back deep by Livingston. As Adsman moves it over, Drebeck picks it up on the far circle of her own zone. Held in at the far point by Payson. Loose on the far circle. Now sent in along the far boards. Here comes Flynn. Flynn chips it all the way back out into the neutral zone. Young rifling it the other direction. And knocked down. Good job by Flynn. Now coming in is moved over. Getting the zone. Drebeck. High slot. Now drop pass over to Edwards. Edwards over. Millman with a shot. That knocked down out in front by Young. Young trying to get it out of the zone. Millman holds it in. Millman shot. Couldn't get everything on it. That fired all the way down the ice. That'll be icing and head back into the Livingston A. 10:53 left to go here in the third. 5-0. Pioneer with the lead. Face-off is going to be back in the Livingston zone. They're going to have it in the far face-off circle. Campbell in to take the face-off. Is McKay to her left, Prince to her right. Clamo in to take the face-off. That in along the far boards. Back to Millman at the far point. That shot just goes wide. Held in at the near point by Trappell. Trappell trying to drive it deep. Now Prince takes a shot through the slot. That knocked down, bringing it down the near boards. Here comes Clamo. Clamo feeds it ahead. Tipped back right at the Pioneer blue line. Here comes Millman down the near boards. Millman gains the zone. Millman through the slot on the far circle. Backhanded shot. And in along the end boards. And puck outside the far circle, trying to hold it in over there. That puck lifted back. As that was Campbell trying to get to it. Brought all the way back into the Pioneer zone. Icing waved off Campbell. Or excuse me, that is McKay with it. Right to the blue line. Now here comes Millman. Millman down the far boards. Puck dropped back. Here comes Campbell. Campbell gains his own. Campbell on the far circle. Campbell coming in. Shot. That goes into the near corner. Holding it in at the near point is Trappell. Loose on the far circle. Now bringing it ahead is Livingston as Eckerman trying to get it out of the zone. Prince comes over to hold it in and sent high slot, grabbing it. There's a shot by McKay that deflects top of the near circle. Still battle for it right in the high slot. Holding it in is Brainerd. Now that puck fired ahead and along the far boards. Clamo trying to get to it. Brainerd chases it deep and along the end boards. Eckerman trying to knock it away. Brainerd has it into the far corner. That puck loose. Brainerd underneath the near circle now goes back behind the goal. Brainerd underneath the near circle. Moves back over Brainerd with a shot out in front. That got caught in a pair of skates and covered up by Clark. 9:08 left to go here in the third period. Face-off will be in the near face-off circle. That to Clark's left. Brainerd in to take the face-off. McGee on the other side. That puck loose on that near circle, outside the near circle. Brainerd trying to get to it. Now Edwards in, trying to pull that away. The puck back behind Flynn. Going back behind the goal. Flynn into the far corner. And fired away back into the neutral zone. Here comes a foot race. Trying to get back is Drebeck into the near corner, beating Clamo to the puck. And puck back to the near point. Trying to pull it out of the zone is Edwards. And puck all the way back. Foot race. Here comes Flynn. Chasing it in along the end boards. Icing waved off. Flynn goes back behind the goal. Flynn underneath the far circle. Pulled away by Young. Young feeding it ahead. Boys trying to pick it up. That puck back into the Pioneer zone. Myers has it underneath the far circle. Goes back behind Grand. Underneath the near circle Myers. That ahead to Brainerd. Now firing. Knocked away by Drebeck. Drebeck goes over on blue line. Drebeck over center ice. Drebeck coming in the high slot. Drebeck comes over to the near side underneath the near circle. Drebeck with that puck loose on the near circle. Now that banked out into the neutral zone. Racing back to get it is Campbell. Campbell pulling that away. Great defense by Piper Campbell. Outside the far circle. Flynn trying to pick it up. Back in along the end boards. Campbell trying to knock it away from Boys. That comes outside the near circle for Edwards. Edwards trying to chip it out of the zone. Gets it past Shatuk. Icing waved off as Clamo into the near corner. Clamo coming in along the far boards. Clamo over on blue line. Clamo over center ice. That pulled away. Millman got in the way. Here comes Campbell. Campbell in the high slot. Drop pass over to Millman. Millman top of the far circle. And glove down. And 7:21 left to go here in the third. Face-off in the far face-off circle. That is to Clark's rights. Campbell in to take the face-off. On the other side is Richards. Millman has it. Top of the far circle. Shot there. That stick up into the netting by Clark. They'll drop it again in the Livingston zone. 7:15 left to go here in the third. 5-0. Pioneer with the lead. Campbell in to take the face-off. Richards on the other side. That puck dropped back to the far point now. Top of the near circle for Drebeck. Drebeck with the shot tipped out in front by Campbell. Just deflects wide to the near side. As Prince trying to pull it back behind. That puck comes outside the far circle. Millman able to pinch, put it back in along the end boards. Prince chases it back behind Clark. Prince pinned against the boards. Now Campbell has it into the far corner. Pulled back around by Richards. Richards coming down the far boards for Livingston. Fires it on edge all the way back into the Pioneer zone. Drebeck collects it there. Sweeps back behind Grand and along the near boards. Drebeck banks the puck ahead. Drebeck over center ice. Drebeck trying to gain the zone. That over to Campbell. Campbell with the rising shot. That goes just over the crossbar outside the far circle. Into the slot, that pulled away. Here comes Richards for Livingston. 6:22 left to go here in the third. Pioneer up 5-0. Drop pass over to Shatuk, who puts it back deep. The puck into the far corner. Racing over to get it is McKay. That chip back in along the end boards. Millman has it underneath the near circle, bringing it ahead. Millman over on blue line down the near boards of the neutral zone. Millman gains the zone on the near circle. Millman comes in, backhanded shot, and she scores! Millman carried it all the way down, cut in front of the crease. Backhanded shot there. Beautiful shot to make it 6-0. That at 5:57. Face off right at center ice. 6-0 Pioneer. Brainerd in to take the face off. McGee on the other side trying to bring it is Flynn into the zone. Top of the far circle. Flynn battling there. Trying to knock it away. was Payson. That puck all the way back, top of the far circle. Atzman backhands it deep. Right back behind Clark. So hat trick for Millman, and she snipes another one, and that makes it 4. Shot from the high slot, and that was a sniper shot. Nothing that Clark could do about it. 7-0 Pioneer. Millman with her 4th goal. And at 5:35, if Pioneer is able to score one more goal, and Livingston is not able to get a goal in that time, it will be, because that should be 7-0, it will be the game ending in a mercy. That pulled away. Livingston battling, trying not to make that happen as Payson comes ahead. Payson over top of the far circle. Now Atzman chases it in along the end board as there's a penalty coming up to Pioneer. Edwards gets the assist on the last Millman goal. Draybeck goes into the box. And at 5:24, I didn't see what it was for, but Pioneer shorthanded for the next 2 minutes. Livingston would love to get a goal. Stop Pioneer from trying to end the game with that next goal. Pioneer would love to get a shorthanded goal. That all the way through into the near corner. Here comes Millman down the near boards, feeding it ahead, held in at the near point by Shatuk. Battle for it on the near circle. Knocked away. Millman trying to chase it on the far circle. Shot saved by Grand. Puck loose. Now here comes Flynn. Flynn gets it in along the near boards. Tripping the penalty to Draybeck as Flynn brings it ahead. That puck fired in along the far boards. Here comes Richards. Richards over center ice. Richards gains his own into Pioneer. And drop back over to McGee. Stolen away by Millman. Millman down the near boards. Millman on the near circle, chasing it back behind the goal. Picks it up underneath the far circle. Now coming over. That shot deflected. Knuckleball back behind. Trying to pick it up. Is that puck loose in along the end boards as Brainerd trying to get to it. Now bringing it ahead is Eckerman. Eckerman over center ice. Eckerman gains his own, knocks it off the end boards. Over Trappell, sending it ahead. Here comes Flynn. Flynn fires it and pulled ahead by Pioneer. Bringing it down is Campbell. Campbell through the slot. Campbell comes in. Campbell fires it in. Short-handed goal, and that should do it. Pioneer puts it away at 4:06. Campbell gets the hat trick as well. And Pioneer wins the game at 4:06 on the Campbell goal. Livingston United played them tough, especially in the first period, but once the Pioneer scoring picked up, they were really able to put it on. And Pioneer wins in the third period. It was a goal by Millman at 5:57. Then it was a goal by Millman from Edwards at 5:35. Then Draybeck went off for a trip at 5:24. Then Campbell with the game putting it away at 4:06. Pioneer wins. They will next be playing this very team on the 11th, January 11th, at Vets Memorial Ice Arena. Again, we'll have men's freshman, JV, and varsity basketball tomorrow. We will have Pioneer men's hockey at 3 o'clock on Monday, and then hopefully we'll have Pioneer women's basketball from Easter next week, and then we'll have a couple weeks off. Thank you so much for watching and supporting these teams. For my camera person, James Wiseman, my name is Mark Wiseman. Thank you so much. Have a great night. Pioneer wins by a score of 8-0.